good evening. The show's called This Is Exclusive and I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. We will put our spotlight on a story and some videos that will expose Pakistan yet again. The same Pakistan that, remember, says it's a Naya Pakistan, a Pakistan that continues, remember, to be shamed by its very own. What's happening deep inside Pakistan? We'll deep dive into that story, and yes, it's a big Republic impact. Our campaign about that pervert, that creep, who's still a scot-free man, who urinates on a co-passenger, but still no action. We'll get you details of all that and much more. First up, the headlines. It's a massive Republic campaign impact. Civil Aviation Ministry has pulled up Air India over the urination in the flight case. National demand for the arrest of the drunk man who urinated on an elderly woman in the Air India flight. Massive momentum after this big Republic campaign from the DGCA to the Delhi police. All have finally swung into action. Congress leader targets Yogi. He says, ditch saffron if you want investment for the state of Uttar Pradesh. Delhi police reveal the accused without license was driving the killer car. Hunt is now on to nab 2 more accused. Let's begin this edition of the news with a big Republic exclusive story. This is about Pakistan, about Gilgit-Baltistan to be precise. Now this, remember, is the area where you've seen massive protests that have broken out for the last many days. This clearly is a story and images that make Pakistan very uncomfortable. Pakistan does not want to talk about this. But what you will see now are pro-India slogans that have been raised during these protests. Before we actually get you live coverage and the perspective, first up, listen in to what the protesters have said, and then we carry forward the entire coverage.
नहीं हम इस्लामाबाद सरकार को इजाजत देंगे कि वो हमारा फैसला करे। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान का फैसला यहाँ के अवाम ने करना है, यहाँ बसने वाले लोगों ने करना है कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान का मुस्तकबिल किस तरह करना है। साथियों, यहाँ पर ये जो हमारा खित्ता है, 71 के बाद, बंगाल अलग होने के बाद यहाँ FCR का खात्मा किया, क्योंकि 80,000 पाकिस्तान आर्मी के लोगों को बंगाली अवाम ने यरगमाल बनाया था। उन कैदियों को छुड़ाकर उनको अकोमोडेट करने के लिए भुट्टो और इजलाल ज़ैदी के जरिए हमारे इस खत्ते में उन्होंने फसादात कराए, शिया सुन्नी फसादात की बीज बोया गया। उसके बाद यहाँ पर एफसीआर को खत्म करके सब्सिडी दी गई। सब्सिडी में 8-10 चीजें थी। तेल खत्म किया, चीनी खत्म किया और पीआईए का सफरी टिकट खत्म करके ला के सिर्फ गंदुम पे आपको महदूद किया, क्योंकि गंदुम का बराह रास्त ताल्लुक जन्नत और पेट से है। इंसान की पेट को जब आग लगती है तो वो किसी चीज को लिहाज नहीं करते। हमने जिन जिन को वोट देकर हमारे अवाम ने असम्बली में भेजा, वो अवाम की नुमाइंदगी करने के बजाय वो इस्लामाबाद सरकार और ब्यूरोक्रेसी के गुमास्तगी अख्तियार की उन्होंने। वो उनके आलाकार बने। आपके ऊपर उन्होंने ये जो महंगाई का टैक्सेस का जो बम गिराया है, उसके खिलाफ पूरा साल से हम सरापा एहतिजाज है और आइंदा भी हम एहतिजाज करते रहेंगे। 71 सालों से बाप उधर है, बेटा इधर है, माँ उधर है, बेटी इधर है। बेशक करतारपुर खुल सकता है, मलीर खोखरा पार खुल सकता है, वाघा बॉर्डर खुल सकता है, चाइना के बॉर्डर खुल सकते हैं। तो ये करगिल की एलओसी में कौन सी कबाहत है, इसको खोला जाए। और हम ये डिमांड करते हैं कि शेख अली के आस्ताने तक कोई भी चेक पोस्ट न हो, खाली किया जाए। शेख साहब के मुरीदीन को वहां जियारतगाह तक रसाई को आसान बनाया जाए। इस जलसे की वसातत से मैं अंजुमन ताजरान बल्तिस्तान को खरमंग की तरफ आने की दावत देता हूँ। हमारा अवाम ने फैसला किया, अभी गिलगित में हमारे मसाइल का हल नहीं है। इससे 3 दफा मेहदी शाह सरकार के दौर में भी गिलगित की तरफ मार्च हुआ, हफीज के दौर में भी हमने गिलगित की तरफ मार्च किया। मुस्तकिल हल उन्होंने नहीं किया, उन्होंने सिर्फ स्लो पॉइजन दिया, आपको ब्रोफीन देकर वक्ती तौर पर आपको रिलीफ दिया। मुस्तकिल हल उन्होंने नहीं किया।
So you've seen what's happening right now in Gilgit-Baltistan, and lot of slogans being raised against the Pakistan deep state. Major Gaurav, Arya, Shravan both with us. Good evening to you, Major Gaurav, Arya. And before I come to you, let's quickly get in Shravan, who's been able to access these videos that we are seeing playing out on our screens. You know, Shravan, why don't you, for the benefit of our viewers, just put the story into perspective? This is the same Pakistan right now, Shravan, that's dealing with an energy crisis. Zero credibility. No one wants to do business with Pakistan. And clearly these are videos that will put Pakistan to shame.
Well, in fact, Deepthi, I would like to start by saying that perhaps we are the only Indian news network to have our feet on the ground to get you what's really happening in Gilgit-Baltistan, and gives you a sense of Pakistan's oppression, something that Pakistan does not want the world to see. In fact, we've been in touch with our sources on the ground starting sometime end of December. That's when this was essentially brewing, because the shutterdown strike started from 28th of December, and we've been in touch with people there. And, you know, the sense that I get, Deepthi, when I'm speaking to them is that fear of the oppression of the Pakistani army, and they do not want this to come out. And that is the reason why what's really happening on the ground is they're witnessing over 18-hour-long blockage. There is no electricity. There is no provisions that have been given to them, and those who are raising their voices against them, there have been cases that have been registered. Now, what's the background behind this? Now, this is the oppressive Khalsa Sarkar law that was basically brought in by the Pakistani administration. The reason essentially being, as per this particular law, any uncultivated land or barren land essentially becomes a land of the government, a land of the authorities, which the Pakistani army has essentially been using it as some sort of a camp. not to forget, this is essentially the land that belongs to the locals. And that is the reason why we are looking at this kind of an, major uprising, something that we've not really witnessed over the last few years. But this is only intensified. Perhaps Major Gaurav Arya could also bear me out on this entire issue, that look at the kind of protests that are taking place, where there's been an open declaration of the fact that open up the borders. In fact, just about a few days ago, Deepthi, when we accessed a video of one of the student federation leader, he had openly said that do not make the mistake that you made in 2018. And mind you, this time we're not going to march towards Pakistan, we're going to march towards Kargil and Ladakh. Now, that's the kind of sentiment. We've also heard some more protesters earlier in the day making it abundantly clear if borders can be opened up for Kartarpur, if borders can be opened up for Wagah, and as far as China is concerned, then why not this particular area? Now, the reason why Pakistan essentially wants to suppress this entire matter, remember, this is also for the CPEC, this particular land becomes far more crucial for them. And that's essentially why you're looking at these kind of laws that have been misused, and it just goes against the rights of the locals there. And that is the reason why they are saying that the future of Gilgit-Baltistan will not be decided by Pakistan. It will be decided by the people of Gilgit and Baltistan.
But Shravan, I think we must underscore that these videos do not surprise us, Major Gaurav Arya, do they? Because this is something that you see time and again coming out of Pakistan. Like I said, Pakistan clearly is not just beleaguered, Pakistan is not just cornered, but I think the larger story here is also about the resentment against the Fauj, against the deep state, Major Gaurav Arya.
There are 2-3 kinds of resentment here, Deepthi, that are taking place. Number one is, of course, the skewed development that is happening in Pakistan. All the resources get diverted to Punjab, and there is nothing that happens in Sindh, Balochistan, or POK that they call Azad Kashmir, or even Gilgit-Baltistan. Now, in 1971, there were 5 villages during the war that were taken by India, which were earlier part of Pakistan, and today they are part of India. And a lot of relatives of theirs, there have been marriages across, even in Kashmir. And people of POK and Gilgit-Baltistan see the kind of economic development that is unfolded in the Kashmir Valley, in Jammu, and in Gilgit-Baltistan. The area that is with India. A small part of that is with India, also in Ladakh. And when they see that, there is a deep sense of resentment, because what they see here is, the DHA, the Defense Housing Authority, coming and taking up land, deliberately grabbing land, or what they call the Qabza groups in Pakistan, and trying to build DHAs for army officers and selling them at high rates, because naturally Gilgit-Baltistan is a very beautiful place. Also the theft of natural resources, etc. So when they see their Indian, across in Kargil, across in Ladakh, when they see the kind of development that has taken place, they talk to their friends and their relatives across. And they say that we don't even have a hospital, we don't have an airport, we don't have a decent railway station, we have absolutely nothing here. There is no connectivity, and everybody just takes. Nobody gives from Pakistan. And this has led to a lot of resentment also. Also, there is a very strong feeling of subnationalism in Gilgit-Baltistan. This is what my study tells me. And, there is a very strong undercurrent of wanting independence, so to say, from Pakistan. And there are many people who want to join India because they see a better future with India than they see with Pakistan. Deepthi.
That is true, and I think that again, like I said, Major Gaurav Arya, is something that is written all over these protests. The very fact that they are speaking about India, Shravan. And what happens next, Shravan? What are the kind of reactions, if at all, that we've heard from the deep state? Clearly a story Pakistan does not want to talk about, but this is the story of oppression. This is a story of what people today are facing. Isn't that, Shravan?
Well, just before the broadcast began, Deepthi, I did manage to speak to one of my sources. Now, there are reports that are now coming in that the Pakistani army essentially wants to, suppress this entire uprising. And the fact of the matter is that this is now gone out of Gilgit-Baltistan. It is for the world to see. There have been some reports of firing, but we are waiting for an official confirmation to come in, and for some pictures that we actually get into our newsroom. Only then perhaps we would be in a position to broadcast. But the fact of the matter is that this started on 28th of December. No one really predicted that this is going to last for so many days. And the fact of the matter is that on the ground, the protests are only intensifying with every passing day. In fact, I'm given to understand sometime earlier in the day, around 9:30 this morning, there was a large grouping that took place, at least in some of the areas that I'm being told, in Skardu, in Gilgit, Hunza and Gizir. These are the places where the protests actually took place earlier in the day. So it is only increasing with every passing day, and Pakistani army is undoubtedly finding it extremely difficult to contain. They would like that these visuals or these messages from the protesters do not go out, and that is essentially why you're looking at how the clampdown has already begun. From electricity to basic resources, all of them there has been a clampdown on it. It turns, if the firing has actually taken place, then things could actually go out of control, because this time the protesters have made it abundantly clear that first, you remove the taxes, second, give us our constitutional rights, and we decide the fate of Gilgit-Baltistan. It is not Islamabad who's going to decide what's going to be the future of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan. So in the days to come, if at all the firing has actually taken place, then there is a high possibility that things could actually go out of hand.
That is true. And Major Gaurav, Arya, why don't you give us the big picture? People are watching these images, whether you're in India or in Pakistan, they have a story to tell. This is the same Pakistan that, harps on the K bogey again and again. It believes it has a right to comment on every domestic affair of India. But shouldn't we tell Pakistan, hey, listen, what's happening in your own backyard?
Deepthi, what is happening in Gilgit-Baltistan is nothing as compared to what is happening in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Mass-scale disappearances in Balochistan, mass killings, internment camps that are happening in Balochistan along the Afghanistan border. And of course, the same things have started here. But in Gilgit-Baltistan, the images that you see, the video that you're seeing on screen, the protests by the people now, these are organic protests. Pakistan has gone on, Pakistani people of Ministry of External Affairs and Rana Sanaullah's team, the Ministry of Interior, they've gone on air saying that India is behind all this. But, these are organic. India can't do anything about this. This is organic. If you mistreat people, they will come out on the streets. And this is exactly what has happened. And Pakistan refuses to learn the lessons of Bangladesh. You know what they did in 1971, how they mistreated the Bengalis and how the Bengalis rose in revolt. Pakistan, there's a very famous saying that those who forget history are condemned to repeat it. And this is just one more case of Pakistan forgetting history. They're repeating history in Balochistan, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and now in front of you, you see images of Gilgit-Baltistan.
Absolutely. And we'll in fact put these videos also on republicworld.com, the story generating a lot of traction also on the social media. I thank both Shravan and Major Gaurav Arya for their time and their wisdom on that big story. And like I said, the more things change, the more things remain the same about Pakistan. That is the story. Let's quickly get in more breaking updates coming in on the show. Now we are learning that 3 people have been apprehended for attacking the Vande, Bharat, and all 3, we are learning, are minors. And all these 3 minors already have been sent to a juvenile home. Do remember this image that you see on your screens also has been accessed by Republic. This is the exact moment of that attack on Vande Bharat. 3 people are apprehended. Mayuk with us from our Republic Bangla newsroom right now. He's breaking that story. Mayuk, what more do we know?
We are getting in information from Eastern Railway as well as North Frontier Railway is that 3 people have been apprehended. All of them are minors. We cannot reveal their names right now because they are underage boys and mostly residents of Kishanganj in Bihar. That is what we are getting in from our sources. These 3 boys, they have been questioned by rail police and later they have been apprehended and they will be sent to juvenile court and we are yet to get their confession. Whether they did it by purpose, they did it for fun, or there's a deeper conspiracy in it. But right now, what we are getting in is that it's a racket of underage minor boys and who have pelted stones. And we are also showing the visuals. We are showing the visuals. We are showing the CCTV of the train where clearly it can be seen that the few of the bystanders they are throwing indeed throwing stones while the train is moving. So what we are getting in from the rail police is that 3 minors have been apprehended out of 4 boys who have been called for questioning, and right now 1 has been detained and 3 have been arrested. They all will be produced in juvenile court later tomorrow.
Okay, Mayuk, it's a very important story that's breaking right now. I do understand it's just initial times, but it's difficult to wrap your head around the fact that only these 3 people and 3 minors were behind what has happened on consecutive days on the attack on the Vande Bharat Express, Mayuk. But, before you answer that question, our team tells us there are a lot of reactions just coming in. A lot of them, I think, are in Bangla. So why don't, Mayuk, we play that out and you help us understand what they're saying by translating them?
यूपीर ন্যাচারাল প্র্যাকটিস এতে ইট মারা বাংলাকে বদনাম করছিল আজকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই রেলকে যে
Well, right now we are getting in reaction from Firhat Hakim, a senior minister of West Bengal government. He's saying that it's a natural practice of a few people, mostly in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, to pelt stones, and it's a habit. It's a social malaise. And rail police should be more strict. Rail police should be more concerned about this. Any government property is our property. It's a national property, and none have the audacity. None should have the power to break or demolish. After Firhat Hakim, we are getting in Mamata Banerjee's reaction, where Mamata Banerjee is saying that there have been a lot of trains which have been withdrawn from Bengal. One train that has been attacked, that too, a stone pelting incident has happened in Bengal. A lot of stone pelting incidents happen, and it can be seen throughout the country. But the way BJP is kind of politicizing this issue.
Okay, Mayuk, we've seen a good amount of politics being played on that entire story, but the fresh detail that's breaking on your screens. In the attack now, we can confirm that 3 people are apprehended. All 3 of them, in fact, are minors. They've been sent to a juvenile home. Let's quickly head into a break right now.
Republic, 45.7%. Republic TV has 331% more viewership than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment.
On the other side, it's a big Republic campaign impact. Civil Aviation Ministry now pulls up Air India over the urination case in the flight. Will Air India respond? More on that when we come back.
First of all, for past 2 months, there have been various issues which has been popping up in Tamil Nadu. That is from BJP only. Okay. And sincerely, I would like to only question in which way Annamalai has supported any woman. In which way he has supported. Be it there was a audio leak with Daisy Charan and Trichy Surya. He actually made a compromise and he actually suspended the person, Trichy Surya. But it just vanished away. The problem, he did not accept his resignation. Basically, he's a habitual offender, Trichy Surya. And he's not only done that to one person, he's done it to Alish Abdullah, which also came in the same month. Yes. And then she has also openly came out to the press and told that, the person is spoken very badly. And he's apparently very close aide of Annamalai. Okay. Now, today, he's saying that I will not accept his resignation. And in which way is he voicing out for women? When he has actually openly spoken about me in front of 150 people, speaking about Dubai in a very absurd way, in abusive way, inducing a very wrong idea about a woman, especially me. And then now, he doesn't even have an answer to come out. He doesn't have an answer. Recently, I just saw a interview where press meet, he's saying that let Gayatri Raghuram put more